The first thing we'll need is a motion. A motion for someone to serve as the chairman pro tem.
I move that John Vandermeulen serve as chairman pro tem tonight.
Okay, with that, we have a motion and a second. Cashin? Newberg? Bauman?
Aye.
And Vandermeulen.
Abstain.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Motion is approved. Commissioner Vandermeulen is chairman pro tem. Thank you.
Good evening. We're going to call to order the Zoning Board of Appeals of the Village of Vernon Hills meeting for January 31st, 2019. Mike, can you take a roll call?
Commissioner Bauman?
Here.
Commissioner Cashin? Here. Commissioner Kennedy? Commissioner Newberg? Here. Chairman Vandermeulen?
Here.
You have a quorum.
All right. In terms of having a quorum, it means this is the minimum number of board members that can be here to vote on a variance request. If you get a positive for the variance request out of everybody, this will fall onto the committee of the whole, which is a lower level because it's already been recommended to the village board that the variance be granted, okay? If we don't have the quorum voting in the positive for granting the variance, it will go on to the regular meeting agenda for the village trustees meeting that's held on February 19th, okay? Which basically means you just be giving the presentation again, but you'd be doing it to the village trustees as opposed to the Zoning Board of Appeals, which is a recommendation body to the village trustees, okay? Next order of business? Yeah, we want approval of the last meeting's minutes for August 4th, 2016.
I move we approve the minutes for the August 4th, 2016 minutes as written.
Is that a second?
Yeah.
Commissioner Cashin? Aye. Commissioner Newberg? Aye. Commissioner Bauman?
Aye.
Chairman Vandermeulen?
Aye. Okay, the minutes have been approved. Okay, we have two cases this evening. Case 2018-01, Bears Fit, which is petitioning for a variance from the village code ordinances regarding signs. And the second case is case 2019-01, which is the Walmart stores, which are petitioning for a variation from the village code also on signs. We're going to start with the Bears Fit case, 2018-01. Is there somebody here to present for the petitioner?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Cliff Stein, General Counsel on behalf of the Chicago Bears.
Okay. Mr. Stein, would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear that the presentation you're about to give before this board is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Please go ahead with your presentation.
Good evening. Thank you for the time to hear us out on this very cold night where 0 degrees becomes a heat wave. It's a strange circumstance.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're excited to coming close to bringing Bears Fit to Vernon Hills. Just by way of background, we're under construction. Everything is on target for a spring opening. There's some big events going on. There's an event happening right now in the Vernon Hills Mall where there's well over 100 people in attendance for a free fitness clinic. So creating some excitement. This is our our application for a variance for the exterior signage on both the building and the monument signage on Route 60. And the main, let me see if I could work this. The main gist of this application is the whole goal to bring Bears Fit to the community is to make sure we're bringing the authentic Chicago Bears brand. It's what people hope for. It's what people expect. It's what we want to do. And it brings authenticity by having the proper Bears logos presented. And so we have a long-standing history since using the Bearhead logo of presenting the logo in a certain fashion. There's a lot of examples of that. The current rule is that the logo embedded with the text can't be taller than the actual letters, and this is an example of what that would look like. As you can see, the bear head will be very tiny. It's not the actual Bears Fit logo, and it's not consistent with how the Chicago Bears use the Bears logo. So that either way, whether it's on the top or the side, it's very small. This is the site. As we know, it's the former Sports Authority building. This is what the previous signage looked like. This is what we are proposing. So as you can see, the bear head in comparison to the text of Bears Fit is larger. This is the consistent treatment, the authentic treatment of how Chicago Bears have always presented their brand to the fans, to the public, worldwide with the NFL, and now we'd like to do the same in the Vernon Hills community. These are the dimensions that have been submitted to make sure the overall dimensions fit within the parameters we're allowed to based on what the former Sports Authority signage used. This is what it would look like, or if we followed the letter of the rule, and we just think this really diminishes our brand. It really will not have an authentic look, and it really buries the main focus is the bear head is one of our two official logos between the bear head and the Chicago Bears C. This is what we are proposing for the monument signage. Again, all other dimensions are in compliance other than the fact that we have the large bear head, and that's the treatment we are seeking through this application. As you can see, all other sizes comply with the square footage, 50 square feet. It's still under 8 feet tall, which is what we're permitted to do. Right now, we have some temporary signage out there. We're in pre-sale, so we're still trying to generate interest. So the sooner we can put the authentic signage out there, the better, more interest we can create, because we'll get to a point where even before opening, we'll be able to do some hard hat tours, and walls are up, paint is up, you can walk in rooms. There's a lot of fun, exciting stuff happening inside the building now. We'd like to get the community to see that. As you can see, just some other examples right in the surrounding area. You can see Target. It's important to their brand to have the Target logo larger than the letters. That's consistent with how they market their brand. REI with the tree to the left in comparison to the size of the letters. Chick-fil-A, the logo much larger than the letters. Even other buildings around here, learning resources. You could see Sky Zone, Northwestern Medicine, even Vernon Hills with the V and the H. So there's probably a variance there. But here's other examples. We ran a 5K. Maybe we hope to run a 5K sometime in Vernon Hills. But you can see the treatment of the Bearhead logo. Again, here's another example of an event, Ladies' Night, sponsored by Myers, and you see how we treat this. This is our 2018 season. We had a whole comic book theme, superheroes that we intend to continue, and you can see how we use the Bearhead logo in comparison. This is our game day guide. Again, we're just asking for consistent treatment to bring the excitement, the authenticity to this community with the proper presentation of the Bearhead and consistent with the logo that we developed for Bears Fit. And that's really the gist of it. We do think that there would be some harm if we weren't able to present it properly.
Mr. Stein, one of the things that this board is required to do, there are 3 specific points that we have to address in granting any variance request. Some of the things that you just gave in your presentation clearly tie towards one of the requirements that we must ask you to address. Those 3 items are that the property cannot yield a reasonable use and return if the variance is not granted, the plight of the owner is due to unique circumstances, or that the variance, if granted, will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood, okay? Your presentation showing what is going on with other signs in the area, so this is kind of a common theme with many of the retailers in Vernon Hills. With that, I think that part of the presentation definitely addresses the would not alter the essential character of the area, okay? Because a lot of the companies that you were showing are right on Route 60 and definitely within proximity of where the Bears Fit location is at. Could you do me a favor and surmise the first 2 requirements for what we need to address?
Yes, can you repeat the first one again?
The first one is the property cannot yield a reasonable use and return if the variance is not granted.
Yeah, and for that, I would say we've been basing this whole concept to bring the Bears for the first time in Vernon Hills. We had a Varsity Bears event, which was very successful at Vernon Hills High School last summer, that the village approved. And we presented it the same way. We presented our brand the exact same way with the large Bearhead logo. Again, we believe and feel strongly that this is what the fans in the community expects. We are going to have retail in there. We're going to have other areas where our logo and our brand is presented right a certain way, consistent with this treatment. And by having signage on the exterior, the first thing they're going to see that is unreadable in a certain way to understand, unless you're very close, that that's our logo, really could create a negative impact and affect people's interest in joining and coming inside because they don't see an authentic treatment. If you come to visitors who come to Hallis Hall, the first thing they see is they see our logo and they see it treated a certain way. And we see this as just one more extension. It's the first other extension of our brand in a brick and mortar location that's not where we practice other than Soldier Field, which we don't own. We only play games in there. So we want it to be done the right way, and we think this could really just negatively impact sales, interest, and just our overall people that are involved in this. It's just not how we have designed, created the logo for Bears Fit, and we think ultimately we're not giving the community the authenticity of the full Bears experience.
Okay, very good. And then if you could address the third point that we have to here on the board to raise a vote as to whether or not we approve the variance or not is the plight of the owner is due to unique circumstances.
The unique circumstance, I would say, and some of these, I'm sorry if I'm redundant, I think some of these do overlap, but we are an NFL franchise. We're actually the first NFL franchise, and we, along with the NFL, will celebrate our 100th anniversary this year. So it's a really exciting time to present a new business venture at the same time we're celebrating the 100th anniversary, which in itself has its own logo, which also has the bear head presented in a certain way with the number 100. And we expect to do some overlap where we're promoting the 100-year anniversary and Bears Fit at the same time. And so the plight there is that, again, it goes back to a long-standing history and tradition since 1920 of presenting our brand in a similar and consistent manner. And in fact, on top of the fact that we're celebrating the 100th anniversary, to have a treatment that's not authentic will really negatively impact our brand. It's a disincentive to do, for a lot of our team and people, it's a real disincentive to open up these new ventures if we can't bring the full authenticity to people. I mean, we want to bring players, and players will do autographs. We want to do radio shows, and we're not going to bring, a fake player. We're going to bring the real, actual players, and we want to do the same thing with our logo. We want the first thing that people see is impactful, the real Bear logo, and it's not, as the other point, it's not going to negatively impact the community. It's only going to enhance it. And we feel with all the examples I presented, we will be one of the strongest, if not the strongest, brands, and open up all different retail and revenue possibilities for the community that no one can even anticipate now. And we believe it all starts with how we present the exterior of this building.
Okay, great, very good. Thank you, Mr. Stein. Are there any questions or comments from any of the board members at this time?
Well, I've got to say that the package submitted by Mr. Stein addressed those criteria very well. And also, the logo, though larger, according to our rules, the whole sign actually comes out to the right size. So what they've done to make the bigger logo is just make their letters smaller. They could actually make the letters the same height as the bear to fall within and still use the same size sign. I don't know, they might actually spread it, but generally, they sacrifice letters for sign, and this is how you use the sign to get people in the door. It just all makes sense.
Okay, very good.
Thank you. Yes, correct.
Any other questions or comments from the board? Okay. In that case, I'd like to add one item relating to the plight of the owners due to unique circumstances. First off, the building that you're occupying is set back from Route 60. It's not right on Route 60. You're almost a full city block set back into this space. So you have issues of the signage not being quite as visible as if you were right on Route 60. There are two other circumstances that go along with that. The first is there's another building that is right on 60 that is at the front of the parking lot where the Bears Fit operation is looking to occupy, that blocks a lot of the view, okay? The other consideration is there are a lot of trees along the parkway and right on Parkview Avenue, which is the primary intersection where Bears Fit is at, which is Route 60 and Parkview. There is limited sight capability to see the Bears Fit property, and you don't have as much time to catch a view of the location or what its function is. The logo standing by itself would definitely identify this property as being associated with the Chicago Bears. It's a logo that's very familiar to people in this area and in Lake County in general, just because of where the training facilities are. The majority of Lake County are probably Bears fans, so they'd recognize it. Would make it immediately recognizable as being tied with the Bears organization, as opposed to the lettering, which Bears Fit does not automatically tie you to what is the true organizational tie with this facility. Okay? So those are a couple of the items that I think would also be covered by the plight of the owners due to unique circumstances. I just wanted to add that. Okay? If there are no other comments or questions from the board?
I'll make a comment. Looking at, I think the building signs are well done. The logo is larger, but they're well done. They're tasteful and they're not too much at all in their appearance. The monument sign, I wish it was lower, more like the Sports Authority. That's kind of the way things were a while back. There was a real push to have lower signs to kind of keep it from being just up too high. But the design of it is well done, and it's tasteful, I think. So even though it's taller, it's within that's not what the variance is for, the height of it. But with the black background and I think it's well done, so it fits pretty well, I think. So I think it's good.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. If there are no other questions or comments, Mr. Stein, did you have anything else that you wanted to discuss?
I just had a question for you, your earlier statement. If, depending on approved or recommended or not, you said that there would be a timetable if it's not approved of where it would go. Is there a timetable for the lower committee if it was recommended, just so we would know about when it could be erected? Or?
My understanding is that it's still on February 19th.
Okay.
Whether the variance request is approved by this board
Gotcha.
or if it's denied, it's which portion of that trustees meeting it goes through, okay? If it's approved by this board, we pass on the recommendation and the village trustees put it in their committee of the whole, which is a much more normal process that would not require another presentation from the petitioner, okay? If it's not approved, if the variance request is not approved by this board, you would then make a presentation to the village trustees themselves at that February 19th meeting, and then they would vote directly on it, okay? So the timing would be the same.
Same. So we wouldn't be able to put up a sign until after that hearing on the
Yes.
19th? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. If there's no further questions or comments, either from the board or the petitioner's representative, would somebody like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion. I move in regard to case 2018-01, that the Zoning Board of Appeals approve a variance from the Village Code Ordinances, Chapter 19, Section 19.3C4, to allow logos on 3 signs to exceed the height of the lettering and allow the width of the logos to exceed the width of 2 letters.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Can we have a roll call?
Commissioner Newberg? Commissioner Baumann?
Aye.
Commissioner Cashin? Chairman Vandermeulen?
Aye.
Okay, this will go on the February 19th board agenda.
Thank you very much.
And I'll contact you, Cliff, tomorrow or Monday. As soon as I know where on the agenda it'll go, I'll call you to confirm so you know
Okay,
what
great.
time to be
And you'll
there.
let me know if we need to be there or whatever is required.
I will do that.
Okay. Thank you for everyone's time. Appreciate
Thank you, Mr.
your
Stein.
comments. Thanks.
Okay, our second case and final case of the evening is case 2019-01, Walmart Stores, Inc., requesting a zoning variance on signs. Do we have somebody here representing Walmart Stores? Please come forward. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dan Backstrom. I'm with SGA Design Group. We're architects that are hired by Walmart to do the remodel of the Walmart store. and I'm here on behalf of Walmart to request a variance for 2 items.
Okay. Order of business first, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear that the presentation you're about to give to this board is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you may proceed. Thank you.
We got that up there. As I mentioned, my name is Dan Backstrom. I'm with SGA Design Group. I'm here on behalf of Walmart to request a variance from section 19-3.6.C.6.A, limiting the building to 1 flat wall sign, and section 19-3.C.4.D, stating a logo shall not exceed the height of the letters and the width shall not exceed 2 letters. First of all, I'd like to address the number of signs on the building. The building currently has a Walmart sign, which you can see in the photo at the very top on page 1. That sign is a 3'6" high letter sign. Walmart is looking to increase that size to 4'6" and added 2 additional signs. One sign is a pharmacy sign, which you can barely see. To the left of the Walmart entrance is just over that square. It's a 1-foot high letter pharmacy sign. And then the other sign is the pickup sign to the right in the orange field. That sign is a 2'6" high letter sign. And when I say 2'6", that's what we use as our standard size. The actual height is a little bit larger. When you're looking at your ordinance and looking for the square footage that's allowed for the Walmart store, based on a setback that's over 250 feet, in this case Walmart's 458 feet back approximately from the street, they would be allowed a total sign area of about 312 square feet. What we're proposing with the 3 signs combined would be 271.52 square feet. So the total of those 3 signs is below what is allowed based on square footage. So that leads us to seeking the variance for the 2 additional signs that Walmart's looking to add on the building. The pharmacy sign and the pickup service are 2 essential profitable businesses within the Walmart store. While the pharmacy has been around for some time, the pickup service is a newer business for Walmart over the past few years. Walmart's expended considerable time and capital developing their online service business. The pickup program allows a customer to order merchandise online and then arrange to go pick it up at the store. They also offer another service, which is the grocery pickup. This store won't have that service, but you probably have seen commercials advertising for that. So that pickup sign is for both their pickup merchandise service as well as their grocery business. And they're using that pickup sign on all their stores throughout their entire chain. That started about 2 years ago, and they're moving to implement that on every store throughout their entire chain throughout the country. So with that said, Walmart's competing with online companies such as Amazon and brick and mortar stores such as Target, and they want to be sure their customers are aware that this online merchandise ordering service and pickup service is available. As you know, over the years, a number of brick and mortar stores have either gone out of business or are struggling due to the online competition. Examples of this are Toys R Us, which recently has gone out of business, and Sears, who is a business that's struggling. So therefore, in order for Walmart to remain competitive and viable business, they need to have an online presence and to make sure its customers are aware of this service available to them at this store as well as their stores throughout the entire chain. The same is true for the pharmacy, with a number of freestanding pharmacies available in the area such as Walgreens, CVS, Target, and Jewel Osco, to name a few. Walmart wants to remind its customers that they too have a pharmacy within their store. When you look at the Walmart store, it's a rather large building. It's about approximately 110,500 square feet with a 380-foot long storefront. The store offers multiple services within the store, the pickup service, the pharmacy service. And if they were to subdivide that store into, let's say, 3 different businesses, they would be allowed 3 signs, one representing each business that's within the store. This is what you see with the multi-tenant strip center adjacent to the Walmart store. Each store has their business, they have their sign above their business. So the ordinance is restricting Walmart because they're one large building with one sign to not be able to identify other businesses that or services that are available within their store. But the ordinance, it takes into account, the square footage and allowing for the signage, but doesn't take into account this type of service that a building such as Walmart would provide. The second variance that Walmart is requesting is the height and width of the logo Spark symbol. That's that asterisk symbol that you see before the word pickup, to be used in front of the pickup sign. The pickup and Spark symbol is currently awaiting trademark approval. The Walmart sign currently does have trademark approval, and the Walmart sign has been submitted to this board in the past and has received a variance for the Spark symbol to exceed the height of the Walmart letters. The Walmart has already, I already said, the proportions and relationship of the Spark symbol to the words pickup, in this case, are the same no matter what size letter that you use. So the smaller the letter gets, that Spark symbol still is larger than the actual word. You'll see that in their print material, in their online advertising, their commercials, and on their building and their general signage. So Walmart is looking to maintain their brand consistency from the exterior signage to the interior signs to the print material as well as TV and other online images. Therefore, reducing the Spark symbol will go against the consistent brand image Walmart is striving to achieve, as well as their pending trademark design. Finally, the additional 2 proposed signs will not have a detrimental impact on the character of the properties within the areas surrounding the Walmart store. The Walmart store is within a retail area. All retailers have exterior signs, with some having more than one sign. The size of the additional 2 signs, as well as their location on the storefront, are well within the scale of the Walmart building. Looking at the Walmart and the adjacent strip center as a whole, the 2 additional signs are in keeping with the entire center. In addition, if the 2 additional signs are approved, Walmart would enjoy the right of an additional signs that was granted other retailers such as Walgreens and Target. Thank you for your time and consideration, and I'm open to any questions you might have.
Okay, great. Are there any questions or comments from any of the board members?
Well, I just have a comment, Chairman Van Meulen, and that was the additional plights that you mentioned about the setback from the road and the nature of the trees, and how it does get harder to see the signage at speed, and the fact that he's not really looking to oversize, just stay within his corporate profile, that the asterisk was actually being taller. And Spark was approved before, and I think he did cover his 3 points.
I agree. I believe he did. There are some other things that I'd like to address on the plight of the owners due to unique circumstances. One is the changing environment in which retailers are operating nowadays. It seems that in the last couple of years, it's coming down to a battle between brick and mortar establishments versus mail order business. The brick and mortar portion of retail is trying to come up with additional services, in essence, new lines of business, to combat the online services that are there. That in itself is going to create change and requirements for change in signage, addressing new services that are being provided. So in my mind, I don't know if any of the board members agree, that changes many of the things that this board will be discussing going forward. And we have seen already on this board requests for multiple signs on properties to identify more specific services. I know there are properties along Route 60 that have multiple signs that break out additional services that they provide. And it just seems to be that that is how the retail world is turning right now. So part of this plight is due to unique circumstances, a change in the basic retail industry itself. I just wanted to add that point in there to make sure that, yeah.
I understand the problems with the retail, but Walmart now, there's been rumors around for a number of years whether you guys were gonna move to another location. What's the commitment on Walmart to that location right now?
Well, like I said, they're planning to do remodel the store this year. So they're, yes, it is definite. The drawings are, it may even be in, I know we're looking to start construction in April. I believe drawings are either being wrapped up or have been completed and ready to submit for building permits.
Yeah, actually, I think we did
I think
recently get them
You may
in.
have them already.
But yeah.
I don't handle that end of the production of the documents,
We-
so I don't know exactly when they've been submitted, but I know that we're starting.
Is the store changing, the appearance, is it changing as far as?
I haven't seen the plan, so I'd rely on Dan.
Most of the remodel is on the interior. If you, how do I go to the next one? This one?
Right or left?
If you look up there, we are proposing to do a color change on the building. It's similar to what's there right now, but I think actually it'll be more compatible with the adjacent buildings. It's a gray color scheme, 3 different shades of gray, a light, a medium, and dark gray.
Other than the appearance of the store, now, are you adding anything like with Target where they expanded, maybe the grocery sections? Other
No,
stuff? Is it
it's
gonna
it's
pretty
just
much
freshening up the store to
just
just
make it
give it a nice, fresher, cleaner look, using their
consistent
color
with other
palette.
stores?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if this variance is granted and these signs are put up, would you say the remodeling would mostly be on the inside?
Correct.
It'd just be a shame to just, have that all torn down and then, to go through this process to end up with something that wouldn't be carried on through the remodel,
Well, the signage is actually part of the remodel process. The exterior, like I said, repainting and then rebranding with the new signage is part of the remodel. So the contractor that will be doing the interior work will also be doing the exterior. And then there'll be a sign vendor actually that would do the sign installation on the building.
Do they own the building or is there a lease on that property?
I can't say for sure. That's
Yeah, I
Walmart.
don't know 100% myself. My understanding is they own that building, and the lot in front of it. Toys R Us used to own theirs, the end lot, and it's in bankruptcy. And then an ownership group owns all the other stores in between, the former Toys R Us and Walmart.
I believe that's my understanding, but I don't want to commit 100% to that.
Okay. Are there any additional questions or comments from the board or from the petitioner? If there are none, would somebody care to make a motion on this variance request?
In regard to case 2019-01, I move that the Zoning Board of Appeals approve a variance from the Village Code of Ordinances, Chapter 19, Signs, Section 19.3C6, to allow 3 wall signs in lieu of the maximum permitted number of 1, and variance to Section 19.3C4 to allow the logo to exceed the height of lettering and exceed the width of 2 letters.
I'll second that. Do we have to include the name Walmart stores? I don't think you mentioned the name, but you just said
No,
the case
just the
number.
case
but-
number, yeah,
case
that's all
number
that's really
sufficient.
required.
Okay. I'll second it.
Okay.
Commissioner Cashin?
Aye.
Commissioner Newberg?
Aye.
Commissioner Baumann?
Aye.
Chairman Vandermeulen?
Aye.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I appreciate you coming out on a cold night like tonight.
Dan,
Appreciate you flying in from
Sure.
Pennsylvania.
you'll be on the February 19th agenda?
Yes, I am.
Once I know where you are on the agenda, I'll let you know so you understand what time to get there.
That'd be terrific. Thank you.
You're not from Bentonville, you're out in Pennsylvania?
No, yeah, we're the architect. Walmart's home office is in Bentonville,
Yeah, I've
but
been down there a number of times.
the main office for our office is in Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay.
But I work remotely for them in Pennsylvania.
All right, is there any other business that the board needs to address this evening?
Is this where you make an appeal for new members?
That
Yeah,
we can do.
Yeah, we're working on it. We've made the mayor aware of that. And we have advertisement on our website as well. It's just, hopefully we
Do
can
we
find
need
it.
just one or more than that?
Two.
Pardon me?
Oh, Mayor,
Now we need
two.
two, yeah.
Yeah, so
Who's
Glenn
this?
Steyer.
I know Glenn was the first one. Who was the other one?
Mark
Putterman.
Putterman's never been replaced.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
We need 7.
We just need a motion to adjourn whenever you guys want.
Okay. Need a motion to adjourn?
I moved to.
I'll make a
adjourn the
motion
meeting.
to adjourn. I'll second that.
Okay.
All in favor, say aye. All right.
Aye.
Thank you.
The reason I mentioned the other was, I found this opening because Putterman made an appeal back at, during a meeting in '97.